Have you ever witnessed a man go completely crazy on camera because of a leaked picture? Ladies and gentlemen, no. Hold on tight, because this may be the most outrageous hip-hop meltdown ever. Imagine this. A minute, 50 Cent is rambling on as if it were just another trivial day in the life of a famous person. And like a heat-seeking missile, the next Papoose is on him. Security scurrying, fists flying, and Remy Ma yelling for someone, anybody, to put an end to the chaos. And why? Just your typical betrayal? I see. Allegedly, only 50 Cent revealing Remy Ma's intimate photos to the public as if they were a diss song. 10 years of friendship coming to an end in the most embarrassing, public, and yes, cinematic way imaginable. They had cameras rolling. There were actual screams. And the internet is already referring to it as the decade's biggest celebrity fight. Here's the twist though. Were the pictures the main reason for this? Or has something much darker been simmering for years between Papoose and 50? Is this the point at which vengeance triumphs over loyalty? Because of what you're about to learn, you'll start to doubt everything why assumed you were aware of hip-hop. Royalty? Let's begin. This is how things went completely out of control. It began similarly to other 50 Cent calamities, unnecessary, loud, and airborne to millions. However, he didn't simply respond with a meme this time. No, he went too far this time, and even his detractors didn't think he would approach, because 50 Cent did more than simply leak an image when he hit send on those private Remy Ma photographs. He set a bomb off, and Papoose, the man who got the full blast. Now, take a moment and consider carefully who we are discussing. The same individual that remained at Remy M's side while she was incarcerated for 6 years. The man who practically became the hip-hop symbol of fidelity. This isn't your average irritable rapper. When it comes to his wife, this is a parent, a husband, and let's face it, the last man you want to test. Therefore, why in the world of rap would 50 Cent find it amusing to release Remy's personal images? The pictures weren't merely suggestive, according to sources. Oh, no. Claimed to have been taken during a private moment between Remy and someone other than Papoose. They were intimate. Some even asserted that these were old receipts from a liaison that no one was aware of until 50 Cent chose to take TMZ to task.in. What location did he post them? Not some secret telegram drop. Not a burner. Not at all. 50 put it on his main story as if it were a power book for advertisement, literally simply boomed, captioned the picture, and left as if he hadn't just burned the ground beneath him. The internet went crazy in a matter of minutes. It was taken up by blogs. Twitter was ablaze. And poor Remy, caught in the middle of the storm, accused of infidelity, suddenly exposed, and seeing the breakdown of her marriage in real time. But what transpired next was far worse than the quiet before the storm. Due to Papoose didn't visit Twitter, evidently. He didn't contact an attorney. He didn't even give 50 a call. He arrived. Allow me to describe the scene. It was early in the evening outside a Manhattan studio, unaware that a real storm was going to hit Timberland's 50 Cent had just finished a promotional shot. Witnesses said Papoose arrived by himself, just focused anger in human form, no entourage, no security. One person compared it like witnessing a man who is possessed. He wasn't shouting. He wasn't pacing. He approached 50 like he was traversing flames. Papoose didn't throw hands, according to the source. What happened next? Well, let's just say if you were near that parking lot, you got the show of a lifetime. He threw them. 50 people stumbled after one blow to the jaw. He gasped after another blow to the ribs. Please stop. This isn't the way. Remy appeared screaming from the backseat of a black Escalade as security attempted to respond. By this point, cameras had already begun to roll. There was a live streamer. Another was behind a tinted glass, filming. Social media would post footage before the police arrived. This was more than just a rash beating, though. So let's take a moment to reflect. This had been developing for years. You see, before this nude controversy, 50 Cent and Papoose had a tense relationship. It was quiet, inconspicuous, and largely unnoticed. But now, like boiling oil, it's all bubbling to the top. For months, insiders have been speculating that 50 had a thing for Remy in interviews. He would make jokes about her and bring up her name when playing Drink or Wild Truth games. Furthermore, even though it always appeared to be like neither Remy nor Papoose were laughing. In fact, 50 is said to have muttered something in Rhee's ear during a strange bet cipher recording back in 2020. It was captured on camera. Her expression changed. She tensed up. Less than a minute later, Papoose took the stage. Is it a coincidence? H. With these pictures, 50 may have verified everyone's suspicions. He wasn't merely having fun. He had receipts in his hands. Here's the real kicker, though. Why now? Why would 50 Cent suddenly accept your selection when he already has several smoldering beefs with Lil Meech and Ja Rule? Determined that now was the time to reveal Remy Ma's secrets. Some believe it was revenge. Remy reportedly rejected a part in a project funded by 50 days prior to the leak, claiming it didn't align with her brand. Was that sufficient to send 50 into a tailspin? Yes, without a doubt, if you know anything about him. Some others think it had nothing to do with Remy. It was about Papoose because he released a freestyle in May that subtly questioned his street cred in the 1950s. 50 admirers didn't miss it, but the majority did. We might now be witnessing 50 Cent's most intimate vengeance scheme to date. Naturally, during a Twitter war, fans are choosing sides more quickly than Nicki and Cardi. Some claim that if the reports of the affair are accurate, Remy had it coming. Others claim that 50 went beyond all bounds, transforming a personal matter into a humiliating public spectacle. Papoose isn't finished, though. That much is certain. According to rumors, the studio attack was only the first stage. That studio attack was only the first stage because a close insider in Remy Ma's inner circle claims that Papoose did not simply leave after throwing those punches. He took a message with him, one that rocked the label as a whole. Sweat-soaked and furious, Papoose turned around just before getting into the SUV and appeared 50 years old. The eye and declared that was mercy. You play with my wife again, and I'll bury your career. And that's not just street talk. That's a direct threat from one of the most respected underground MCs in the game, who has connections from New York boroughs to battle rap circles and beyond. You don't spit bars on loyalty for 20 years and not have some real ones ready to ride with you. The internet was already doing what it does best, spinning theories like a DJ on app, as Twitter detectives combed through every previous picture, interview, and lyric to find clues. Was this a fair reel? Did Remy send the pictures voluntarily, or did he steal them? And most importantly, was 50 Cent holding this blackmail over her for months? According to a now viral tweet from an anonymous burner account purportedly connected to a former gun, 50 has been sitting on those nude photos since 2018, when he allegedly borrowed Remy's phone at a Queen's VIP dinner. He never deleted those pics, the tweet said. He was joking, but not really, when he said, "I might need these someday if things get messy." Yes, it is messy. Additionally, it was too late when Remy attempted to go radio silent. There was flooding in the shade rooms. The slap heard throughout the industry was being reenacted by TikToker. Team is currently involved, and several lawsuits are being discussed. And remember those camera crews that happened to be around during the brawl? It turns out that they weren't just random fans. 2 of them were part of a freelance team working for a documentary crew filming Behind the Bead, a project that was supposed to follow hip-hop icons through their private lives and creative processes. According to an insider with alleged ties to Remy Ma's management, it's not just about the photos anymore. It's about invasion of privacy, defamation, and incitement. Her lawyers are putting together something serious. As if things couldn't get any stranger, a mysterious voicemail started making the rounds online. It was a grainy audio clip posted to an anonymous SoundCloud account called Knit Leaks, and it purports to show a voice that fans say sounds exactly like 50 Cent saying, "I ain't leaked them by accident." The video shows Papoose and 50 Cent with Remy Ma's emotional breakdown in full frame, and rumors have it that Netflix is already in talks to acquire the footage. Now, let's be clear, she believed she could play me behind the scenes, so I warned her that she hadn't listened. Hasn't been confirmed. The recording might be artificial intelligence AI generated, but when you're already drowning in scandal, every rumor becomes a tidal wave. The public's response was divided. Some fans attacked 54 going too far, calling it the ultimate betrayal and calling him a toxic entertainer who is finally imploding, while others defended him, claiming he simply did what any savage brand builder would do to protect his legacy and ego. Meanwhile, Remy Ma's fan base was split, with some still defending her, blaming the leak rather than the alleged affair, while others dragged her for playing Papoose and failing to four. The most bizarre part is that Remy Malek's official website was hacked, and for 6 hours, the homepage was redirected to a black screen that read, "Loyalty deserves more than silence." Hashtags like hashtag Remy Mallet, hashtag PAPAPOOSE50, and hashtag JUNIT exposed are trending across multiple platforms, and Papoose is being hailed as the last real one standing. See what occurs next. No one has taken accountability. Conspiracy theorists are having a field day, but no one knows who did it. Some claim it's 50, while others believe it's a renegade Papoose fan attempting to coerce Remy into speaking up. Nothing, however, has been released thus far. No official statement, interview, or even tweet. Remy Ma has gone completely silent, and that silence is only making matters worse because everyone is watching and wants to know what she will say next. However, rather than a press conference, a tweet, or even a subliminal lyric, Remy Ma disappeared entirely. It was like a magician pulling the final curtain, with no Instagram activity, no public appearance, and even her scheduled podcast taping that week being canceled due to personal emergencies. During that lull, the internet began to do what it does best, cause havoc. Deepfakes of Remy sobbing in front of a camera and saying things like, "I never meant to hurt anyone," appeared on AI-generated films that purported to be her responses. These memes weren't innocuous. The distinction between fact and fiction became hazy, as some of these films received millions of views and not everyone recognized that they were fake. Papoose, however, wasn't remaining silent. He leaned in, doubled down, and spent the entire night in Shining Tim's mode. He posted a mysterious message to his story with white letters and a black screen that said, "Protect what's yours." At all costs, fans flooded his timeline, comments, and direct messages, with some praising him and others urging him to leave. But the overall tone was one of respect, fear, and awe. The real drama hadn't even reached its peak yet, though, as a TMZ-style clip appeared out of nowhere, showing 50 Cent meeting with his legal team outside a law office in downtown Manhattan. Questions like, "Did you really leak the photos?" were shouted by paparazzi. And, "Are you accusing Papoose of anything?" It didn't land this time, though, because as he was leaving, one of the lawyers was heard whispering something very specific. "We've got to settle this fast." That footage is too damaging. Hold up. What footage? Was it the parking lot brawl? The photos? Or something even worse? 50 maintained his smirk. That smug, untouchable grin that he wears like a bulletproof vest. The story was quickly shut down by lawyers on both sides after an anonymous existent claimed to have inside access to a hard drive that contained not only the Remy Ma photos, but also actual video evidence of how 50 Cent obtained them. In an anonymous interview with a gossip blog, the existent revealed something shocking. He didn't just get those nudes. He screenshotted them from a shared cloud folder that she didn't even know was still synced, and he'd been watching that folder for months. What? Now, we're not just talking about a petty revenge leak, but rather about digital stalking, invasion of privacy, and, depending on how the footage turns out, possibly even felony-level misconduct. According to reports, K's Indus were flying like confetti. The original blog post vanished within a day, but by then, screenshots were all over the place. Suddenly, 50 Cent was no longer seen as invincible, and social media started to change. Memes that were indictments rather than jokes began trending, with hashtags like #50Cent the hacker and hashtag privacy PRED or taking over. His comments were filled with lock emojis and jokes about digital spying, and even brands started to back off. One liquor company 50 endorses subtly untagged him from their most recent post when the brand postponed a rollout video that he was scheduled to star in. The heat was on and coming from all sides. Meanwhile, rumors circulated in the Bronx that Papoose was also getting legal counsel, not to press charges, but to file a civil suit for emotional distress, image defamation, and public provocation. According to a verified source inside a private VIP lounge at a recent Roc Nation party, Jay-Z personally told 50 Cent to clean this Shastra's tea up before it causes actual industry damage. Despite this, he attempted to dismiss it with a laugh. Hav wasn't grinning, though, and that's when you know it's real. Because when the hip-hop gods start whispering in corners and demanding cleanups, you've officially crossed a line. This isn't just a beef, it's reputation warfare. And 50 Cent may have just fought a man who has nothing left to lose. And just when fans thought it couldn't get any more crazy, Remy Ma finally spoke up in a video that was posted to her Instagram Live. She stared into the camera for 7 seconds before declaring, "I trusted both of y'all. I didn't ask for this, and now the world is condemning me for it. Just suffering, just the truth, just destruction, no names, no concrete confirmations." Celebrities began to weigh in as the remarks erupted. Cardi B wrote, "This industry fake F. You don't treat people that way," with the message, "Remain strong. Sis." Fat Joe uploaded the video. "This circus is not something you deserve." However, it wasn't over because Remy said in a whisper, "They still don't know the whole truth," right before the live stream ended. Whoa. The microphone drops. Internet meltdown. What's the truth? What else lies beneath this mountain of digital betrayal and viral chaos? Was 50 hiding more? Did someone else leak the pictures? Was there anyone else involved? Here's where it all erupts into pure speculation overload. Some fans think a third party, someone with connections to both sides, planned this whole thing as retaliation, while others think Remy staged the leak herself to get attention before a new song was released. Some crazy corners of Reddit even speculate that this is a part of a larger Jay-Z versus 50 Cent power struggle, with Papoose as the unintended pawn. There hasn't been a scandal this large in hip-hop since the elevator fight between Solange and Jay-Z. And now that lawsuits are pending, friendships are ruined, careers are in limbo, and millions of people are watching with popcorn in hand, the only question left is, who's next? And that's it, people. What began as a small photo leak turned into one of the most obscene and explosive feuds hip-hop has ever seen, with Remy Ma's private life revealed. Papoose swinging fists in the streets, and 50 Cent once again demonstrating that